This meeting to order, the regular meeting of the City Commission of Rio Grande City. It is Wednesday, June the 8th, 2022, and it is 6:04 p.m. And we're at Commission Chambers, City Hall, 5332 East US Highway 83, here in Rio Grande City, Texas, Suite A. At this time, we'll have the invocation by Commissioner Escobedo, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Ramirez.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, we thank you for this day and for all the blessings that you have given us. We ask that you help us, that you give us guidance, that you give us wisdom, dear Lord, so we can continue moving forward this great city of Rio Grande. We ask that you protect our employees and that you protect everyone that's out there, dear Lord. We ask that you protect the families of Ubalde and that you give us give them the strength to move forward. We ask all this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
honor Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas,
one state under God, one indivisible. Thank you, Commissioner Escobedo, Commissioner Ramirez. Next business and orders, item 1B, roll call and finding of quorum.
Yes. Mayor Villapian,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez.
Here.
Commissioner De Leon,
Here.
Commissioner Olivares.
Here.
And Commissioner Escobedo.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Garza. Next item is 1C, public forum. Do we have anyone signed up for public forum?
We had somebody signed up, but they are not showing up after all, so we have no one.
Okay, so for the record, no one is here for item 1C, public forum. Next item is 1D, departmental reports. Yes,
I went
Mayor.
ahead and I put them in a separate little packet for you because it does make this packet a lot
Okay.
bigger.
Those are in there, and Ms. Foltz, I believe you had something to mention in the commission.
Hello, good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I'm here to tell you about, at the Rio Grande City Public Library, we just started our summer reading program. It's for children, teens, and adults. It's free for everyone. We started out, we broke down in groups, so some groups meet Monday and Wednesday, and the other groups meet Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then on Friday, we have a Fun Friday program, and that's free for anybody that wants to come, and it's usually at 10 a.m. We just had the South Texas Biology Club. The kids had a lot of fun. The professors that came in had a really interesting program on Friday. Next, we have the Benson State Park coming up on Friday, the 10th. I'll just read them out real quickly. We have the East Foundation coming on the 17th, Falcon State Park on the 24th, and we have a magician, John O'Brien, coming in from San Antonio on July the 1st. Later in July, we're going to have we continue with the Fun Friday program, part of it, and right now we're working with Gladys Porter Zoo. It's going to be bringing some animals for the kids to see, and we've got some other programs coming up also in July. We have a craft class. Right now we're partnering with SCAN. That's the adult and crafts. So something for the adults, it's on Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. We're also going to be having gardening. We're going to be having a watercolor class for the adults. So, and health and nutrition programs. We have several programs coming up this summer. So we're very excited about that. We encourage any of you and all of you to come and visit us anytime you want. We have also, besides those programs, we have an online, we're encouraging the kids to get the books written up online, and that way, because before we noticed that there was a lot of competition. Oh, they checked out 10 books, I want to check out 20, which is good for us, but it gets a little hectic sometimes, So this time, all the kids, the parents with their guidance are helping put all the books online, and what they do is that they earn badges along the way. And then the more badges they earn, we're going to put their names in a raffle, and at the end of the program, all the gifts, kids that met the quota, which is 20 books for the summer, so I think it's doable. They'll be eligible to get some other prizes as well. Thank you very much. I don't know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Ms.
Okay.
Foltz.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Foltz. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Also, Mayor, we have a new officer that is just coming in, and the Assistant Chief's here to introduce him.
Mayor, Commission, good afternoon. This is our newest officer, Juan Estrada. He does come with experience. He spent 9 years with Roma Police Department, so he just joined our team. So just wanted to introduce you guys to him.
Welcome to the family, sir.
Welcome, Estrada.
And next meeting, we'll introduce the officer we just hired today. Today was his official first day. And hopefully next week we'll hire the third officer.
Officer Estrada, would you like to say a few words?
I would like to thank you for the opportunity to be here. This is my hometown. This is my first choice when I came out of the academy. And unfortunately, there were no openings at the time. So I decided to join the Roma department. After 9 years, I'm coming back to my hometown. So I want to thank you for this.
Welcome back.
That Chips Estrada from Chips Highway Patrol, is that it, sir?
You have to remember,
Okay.
You're dating yourself, sir.
It's okay, it's all right, we are who we are. Thank you. Thank you, and welcome on board. Appreciate it.
Chief.
Maybe that's all the departments, unless anybody else has anything.
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Beas.
Hello, Ms. Reyes.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. We also have a new employee, Oneida Garza. She's the project clerk, assisting me with the 2020 projects, Texas Water Development Board, TDA, NADBank, and all the ones that we're working on, plus the new applications. So she started this Monday, and this is new to her, but she's excited about the new position. So this is Oneida Garza.
Ms. Garza, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I'm just glad to be given the opportunity to work here. It's something new to me, but I'm willing to learn everything. I'm learning a lot about the projects and everything. So I'm just excited about it.
Excellent.
Welcome on board.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
And just a quick note, next Thursday on 16th, we will receive the bids for the paving project. We had a pre-bid today. There wasn't a mandatory pre-bid conference, but we didn't have any contractors. We are reaching out to several contractors. Right now, it's kind of hard, but hopefully on the 16th, we'll have some bids come in at that time.
Garcia Street?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that will be for the Garcia, Las Brisas, Britton.
We have quite a bit of them, and I know we get contacted quite often about the streets, but they're coming, so again, it's next Thursday,
Yes, sir, at 3 o'clock, the bids
3
will be.
o'clock. We should be receiving bids for those paving projects, and hopefully we'll award someone soon, and then we can start the paving projects, and we'll make sure
We have the contracts also for you to sign for the animal kennel expansion and for the Public Works building, the architectural agreement. And another quick note is we've gotten already notification from TCEQ about the drought situation there is. We are okay with the recent rains here in Stark County, but the Rio Grande Basin is still in a crisis. So even though we might have the water rights, we might be notified in the future to, not pull as much water from the river. So as when they let us know, we'll obviously let the council know, and we'll start our step one of the drought contingency plan. And of course, we have TCQ visit also next Thursday on the wastewater plant.
Ms. Beas, I have a question for you. With the building of the new kennels, were we going to be just having a vet coming to our city to, I guess, provide some services? I know we're in need of a vet here locally, and I don't know if you guys have reached out to anyone at this time or try to encourage somebody to set up shop here locally.
Once we have the first draft of the clinic that is part of this expansion, I think we can entice vets to come to the area. Right now, they are super busy, but I remember last time we had already reached out to 3. And I know Ms. Laura, she has reached out because she's also a member of the Humane Society, so she's also helping us get a vet to come down here. It will have to be a program where, besides the city, there's also grants and participation by the residents, so they can have a
Whatever
buy-in.
you do to entice somebody to come, I think we are in dire need of another vet here locally. And
This clinic will kind of be a state-of-the-art there, the stainless steel beds, all the disposal of the hazardous material, biohazardous, and that's the information and the direction we gave Ms. Laura.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beas. Appreciate it. Anyone else?
Just had a question for Chief Muniz. Is he here today? Chief Muniz, no, just on that fire we had, was from last week, the tire that were burning here close by. Was that arson? Was that intentional? What was the investigation? What does it say?
Right now, I have, sorry for, I'm hoarse in my voice right now. TCQ is gonna come down and investigate. I spoke to them actually yesterday. They reached out to me and I spoke to them. And as what I gathered when I was there, it was arson. It did smell a lot of gasoline in the area. So TCQ was also notified, and they called. Actually, they called me yesterday, and they'll be coming down to check out the area and try to see if we can remove all that.
And that was my next question. I know it's private property, but is there a reason why all those tires were building up there or accumulated? Why not dispose of them sooner before the pile gets bigger?
Do you have an ordinance, right, to prevent something like that?
Well, trash basically. And what I gathered there was that within time, people were just dropping them off on Embassy Road, and they just picked them up just so they wouldn't be an eyesore there, and they were just throwing them there in that property. That they were doing themselves. We didn't see how expanded it got. It got real big. I wasn't aware of how big it got, but definitely they said that's how they got them to that location. They were just dumping the tires there.
Do we need to set up a drop-off station there, or chief? I mean, I don't know what we gotta do to be able to encourage people to dispose of them properly. I don't know. I just hate to see stuff like that happen, especially.
Well, I saw a dumpster with tires on Eisenhower.
Right now, I think it's out of service. The tire. I was told that it was not operational.
They're illegal
right now.
dump sites, and on that one, we need to follow up to make sure with the owners that it doesn't continue that in the future, whatever we need to do to, whether citations or whether just contact them periodically. We cannot allow that a mountain of tires to continue and something like that.
Yes.
So
I did forward
whatever we need
company.
to do, make sure we follow up with them.
Okay, yes. And I did forward a company that disposes these type of tires, and they were supposed to reach out to them. So I know I gave them some information on that. And they were going to be apparently putting a fence, perimeter fence, over the 17 acres there, so to prevent such things dumping them. But yes.
And that points to a bigger problem that I know we've discussed this in the past, but that's something that we could potentially look at ordinances regarding the disposal of tires. I know several cities do not allow, and in fact, if you do buy new tires, what they'll do, and Mr. Milan, if you can follow up on all that to see what type of other ordinances are out there regarding the purchasing of tires and disposing of them, because too many people buy the tires, they take them home, and guess what? They end up dumping them somewhere else because they don't want to pay the extra $1 or $2 or $5, whatever it takes to dispose of them there by the tire entity. So if that's something we need to follow up in the future, and I suggest that maybe we're ready to do that, to make sure that people are disposing of them properly, because at the end, and who knows what's ultimately people are dumping them there.
Yes.
And some of those tires were big too. It wasn't just, they were tractor trailer tires as well. It wasn't just, so anyhow, but we need to follow up with that. So on that note, Mr. Milan, see what kind of tire ordinances are out there, and we can come back and see what we need to do on our end.
Mayor, they can't throw tires at the 14 acres when it's open. There's 4 per person that if they live in Rio. A lot of the problems are that people don't live in Rio and they go deposit them somewhere.
Exactly.
And in the case of during that location where it burnt, I already spoke to some of the property owners. They said that they're going to fence that location up. And I know that Mr. Milan had been working with that property owner regarding those tires and trying to get him disposed of. And he does have documentation on when we were doing all that stuff. So unfortunately, somebody turned on that pile of tires, and it's real hard to turn off, so they kind of let it burn. But we do have an issue with tires. People throw them in. We've had the mosquito season. We've been spraying. Those tires collect water and mosquitoes, and then we had already a couple of them that they're in the gullies, and the bees get in there, and we already had a couple employees get hurt with the bees. So, we recommend that they don't throw them outside, don't leave them outside. If they have time, the 14 acres are open at the end of the month, and with a schedule of public works for them to take. They can take up to 4 tires at a time per person, but you have to be a resident of Rio Grande City, and anybody that lives out of the city, I think, needs to go to their county commissioners and dispose of them there. Or like y'all said, we look at ordinances to, if they change tires, they need to pay for disposal.
Do we check addresses, water bill?
Yes, we do,
or-
sir, yes.
Did they all burn, or is there some cleanup to do there at that property? Are they gonna do it on their own, or do you?
They didn't get to burn everything, but for the majority of it, three-quarters of it did burn.
Okay.
But it was still a little bit of smoldering still.
There's still some residue
Still
there.
smoldering, yes,
Still some-
correct.
Okay.
Some
It's
residue.
just one of those things that tires, the rubber, it's gonna take a while.
That rubber cannot be recycled.
Well, not
They do get recycled.
At the
The
burn time.
the tires, you have to take, we
gets to
do
recycle them.
take them to the recycling center where they get cut up, and, instead of us disposing them, but it is expensive at the end.
To recycle.
To get rid of the tires, you have to be cutting, you can't get just rid of a tire, it has to be cut up and then taken, and we're paying for the weight of that. So I think the ordinance that the mayor's talking about is something we need to look at.
Let's look at an ordinance and see what we can do to minimize the impact, because bottom line is people are dumping them out there. It's illegal dumping. And what can we do to minimize that? But going back to city ordinance, see what we can do there, Milan. And then follow up with that site, make sure that doesn't happen again. I mean, there was a mountain of tires, let's just be frank with it. And we need to minimize that, period. So on that note, hurricane season is already before us. How are we there, Chief? Are we prepared? Are we?
Well, we already made bags to have on hand, but obviously when we do get a tropical system coming down, we'll start doing like we always do. We'll start issuing out advisements, and we'll start opening it up for the public, the bags, so they can get some bags for residents. But right now we do have the sand, we do have bags, but we have 200 made. Basically, that's just to give out to people that are not able to get them.
Okay.
But yeah, we're starting to prepare. And this past week, I did attend the hurricane conference in San Antonio, which they get a lot of key points there about the hurricane season coming up.
Okay.
So,
And we have generators, everything's good to go as far as any generators that we need to be on, should anything happen.
should anything happen, yes.
Nevaeh, are we good with generators for the water?
We do, and we also have portable generators.
Okay. And then on the other note, on PUD, are we cleaning up all the drainage areas and we're good to go there too?
Yes, sir. Hector's not here today, but they do that periodically, Mayor, and the water has been flowing pretty well with this last rain. There was a lot of water that just puddled up, but it did go steadily in some of the areas that we have problems with. It was there. We had people get stuck in high water. It was just a lot of rain, and just people, they need to check the news and what's going on around us when they go out, when it gets to that point, because there's certain areas in the city that do flood. And it takes a while to recede, but it does. So it's just working really well. Yes.
So on that note, Chief, the equipment that we purchase, are we getting our money's worth?
So far,
Thus
yes.
far?
Oh, yes. So far, yes. At least one of them is. We're really getting the work of it. Yes, correct.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Hope you feel better, sir.
Anything else, Chief?
No, sir.
All right. Moving on to item 2, consent agenda. Letter A, approval of minutes from previous meetings, and letter B, approval of departmental travel requests.
Mayor, if there are no comments or questions, I motion to approve item
Second
item 2, consent agenda item A and B.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 2, letter A and B by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Olivares. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Next item is 3 ordinances. Letter A, first reading approval of ordinance number 2022-7, amending the 2021-2022 fiscal budget by providing a transfer from the city's fund balance to the city's general fund.
Yes, Mayor, this is a budget adjustment that Mr. Cantu thought it was necessary from here to the end of the year. Every year, at the end of the year, where somebody's missing money from their line items, they get from another line item and kind of get it where it should be. In this case, I was talking to Mr. Cantu earlier, and he's on the line. He's not here. He's out of town. If y'all have any questions, they told me that there's several, the gas, some of the stuff has actually gone up. We have brought in some other people, and there's been some more expenditures than we had budgeted for, but we're good with the fund balance. So if you have any questions on that, Mr. Cantu is available to answer any other questions that you all
Is he
may
on the
have.
line right now?
Yes.
Yes, he's on.
Mr. Cantu, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Did I hear you?
Yes, I had a question. So are we taking from the fund balance, or is it just from line item to line item from the same budget?
And normally we take from line item to line item, but this year, so you all can see the economy is, and prices are off the roof. We just couldn't find enough money throughout the line items to cover some of them, so we do have to dig into the fund balance. When I say dig into the fund balance, I'm not mentioning here that the revenues are also higher. I'm thinking that's also because of the economy. Our sales taxes are higher than normal. We're around 160,000 higher in revenue. So in this case, for the expenditures, we're gonna have to dig into the fund balance 50,000, which pretty much offsets with the revenues. But since we didn't budget for this kind of expenditures, I do have to run it through council before we can do any budget amendments. Like I said, normally we do it line item to line item, departments. And there's normally enough money to cover, but this time around, there just wasn't enough money around. And I think with this budget amendment, we should be okay to cover the remainder of the year, hopefully, if things don't get out of control.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And when you say revenues are higher at this point, it's gonna be offset by, or this minus will be offset by the revenues at the end of the year. Is that what I hear you, or?
Yes, that's correct. Per se, just as an example, if we were to finish the year today, our revenues are 160,000 higher than what we budgeted for. So that would mean that our fund balance would have increased by 160,000. But in this case, we're having to take 50,000 more in expenditure. So instead of going 160,000 higher, it'll increase by 110,000 only.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Cantu?
I move that we approve item 3A.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 3A by Commissioner Olivares.
Well, you need to be more, the motion needs to be specific, and you need to give the amount, what you're transferring.
Okay.
Without the amount, then
I move that
Which is the
we amend $52,600 from our fund balance to
The general fund?
the general fund,
Okay.
as recommended by
financial,
administration.
correct.
Okay. I have a motion to approve item 3A by Commissioner Olivares.
Roll call?
This is a record vote, yes.
A second by,
Second the motion.
second by Commissioner Ramirez.
And then you need to do a record.
Yes. Okay. Mayor Villarreal,
In favor?
Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez,
In favor?
Commissioner De Leon,
In favor.
Commissioner Olivares,
In favor.
and Commissioner Esco.
In favor.
Okay, motion passed.
Thank you. Next item is 4A, discussion and possible action approving resolution number 2022-11, establishing the role of Rio Grande City International Ambassador. And on this one, so of course as we continue to have more conversations with our partners in Mexico, including Miguel Alemán y Camargo, and I know we have plans to continue having those conversations into Monterrey and to other places in Mexico, and having and continuing with the summits that we've had with the international trade. At this point, it would be beneficial for us to have someone that's representing the city and the city's interests for future growth, and that's something that I would encourage also for our commission. We need to make trips into Mexico, whether it's Monterrey or some of these other places, to continue those business partnerships and collaborations. That's something that we could potentially do. So with this would be a moving on this position of international ambassador. Now, to be clear on this position, it is not a salaried position. It's a non-paying position, or appointment, I should say. With that, any questions on this? If not, I move that we approve item 4A.
Also, Mayor?
Okay, have a motion to approve item 4A and second by Commissioner Ramirez. Is that?
Yes, and just basically the record should reflect that this position serves a public purpose. I think you laid it out, but let's just say it serves a public purpose also.
Okay, so it serves a public purpose. We have a night. Okay, so we have first, second. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Next item is 4B, discussion and possible action approving resolution number 2022-12, appointing a member of the public as Rio Grande City International Ambassador. And with this, I would like to move to approve, to appoint Mr. Ruben Islas, who has been instrumental in having those conversations with our Mexican partners. And he's also been part of the Chamber of Commerce. And he continues to have those relationships with Miguel Alemán, Camargo, Diaz Ordaz. And he does not, and of course for this position, we need somebody that's willing to go and travel to Mexico. That's a prerequisite of it. So with that, I move that for item 4B that we appoint Ruben Islas. Anything else there, Mr.?
No, you're good.
Okay, so we have item 4B, have a motion to approve appoint Ruben Islas. Have a second by Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. The next item is 4C, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2022-13 and select an administration project delivery service provider to complete application and project implementation for the Rio Grande 2021-2022 Community Development Block Grant, community development funded and administered through the Texas Department of Agriculture.
Yes, Mayor, this is, Ms. Baskin answer any question on this, but this is a $350,000 grant, and the administration fees for that, for actually following up on that grant, and it's got the dates that you have to do everything, submit everything on the timely manner. And I believe the amount, and there's some wrong, that we were awarded for this type of service was $11,800, and there was only one bid for this, and Grant Works were the only that bid for this item. The addition to that to complete the $29,000 is $18,000, and if you have any questions, Ms. Bass can get you more information on that one, and she'll go into a little bit more detail. Grant Works is also here if you have any questions for that.
Ms. Baz, would you like to summarize as best as possible the highlights of this? Item 4C.
We do need a grant administrator that is certified with Texas Development Program. They do have a certification process. They have a new online to-go software that is still being worked through some of the kinks, and we recently attended a training workshop because every year you have to get recertified. And this project is a little behind schedule. It started March the 1st, and like the chief said, it's got a schedule of things that need to be done, particularly the procurement of engineer, the environmental, and then establishing all the policies that need to be in place so we can pave Reina and Plainview Street. Grant Works was the only proposal that was received. It is a long-established organization. Most of their staff has worked with this funding agency in the past. I know we have Mr. Zambrano here. Mr. Zambrano is with Grant Works. He actually used to do this for the county of Jim Hogg. We've been colleagues for many years, so I know his work. He's pretty good. The only issue here is, of course, the funding. We do have $11,800 available in the grant. The proposal is for $29,900, so there's a difference that the council would have to direct the finance director to get those difference of funds. This is not a payment that is lump sum. Goes on throughout the duration of the grant until it's closed next year.
What's the total amount for the grant? Is it 350,000?
Yes.
That's 100% grant.
And it's 100% grant? So
No
if anything
matching.
here, it would be the additional cost would be the difference between what's budgeted for this and, okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Now, do we entertain a motion at
I
this?
just had a question there. So
Yes.
the TDA grant, I know that they allocated only 11,800 for this type of services. Is that just, so that amount cannot be amended to cover the difference?
If we would get funds, we would have to get them out of the construction of Reina and Plainview. Plainview is like about 2,000 some linear feet. Reina is about 600 linear feet. Reina is not paved at all, and Plainview will, if you all driven through it, it's a patchwork of old patching, but
Yeah, I'm just wondering why the amount budgeted was only a third of what the proposal is for, so I really don't know why the
And-
discrepancy, or the cities are expected to make it a difference, I guess I should say, but that was just my question.
normally when we work on a budget like this, we want to cover first what the project is about, the construction. So whatever is normally left behind is what we'll put into the 11,000.
Okay.
Had we used staff, then we would be getting the city reimbursed from that money until it would, finish.
Okay, thank you.
We entertain a motion at this time?
That's a moment.
I second.
You need to, if you're gonna award it to Grand Works, you need to make the motion saying that, I move that we award it to Grand Works.
Yes, so Mayor, I move that we approve item 4C as discussed and award the contract to
Grand Works.
Grant Works, I'm sorry.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Ramirez,
Second.
second by Commissioner Escobedo. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Beas. Next item is 4D, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2022-14 and select engineering architectural surveying service provider to complete project implementation for the Rio Grande City's 2021-2022 Community Development Block Grant. Street improvements, Texas Community Development Block Grant funding administered by the Texas Department of Agriculture.
Listen.
Mayor and Commissioners, I think you have in your packet the scores, the tabulation of scores, and this is for the same project, the TDA.
They're on the side,
Yes.
on the binder. Mr. Ramirez.
Yeah.
Yes. I
There
see.
were two engineering
I saw it.
firms. We had Half and Associates and Sames Engineering. Only two engineering firms submitted qualification statements. So
On the tabulation, Sames, total was 711 and half was 676. You have it on your packets. At this time, do we entertain a motion?
That's a move, Mayor, that we award this contract to Sames
second.
Engineering.
Same engineer.
Okay. Have a motion to approve item 4D by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Olivares, and it is the highest scoring as per the tabulation sheet.
Thank you.
All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Next item is item 5, letter A, discussion and possible action to approve several contracts, purchases, payments for several departments, each not exceeding $50,000 or triggering the Texas procurement process.
Yes, Mayor, there's some expenses here from the, from PUD and also from Mr. Milan's office in planning. If you have any questions, Mr. Milan and Ms. Diaz are here to answer. Nothing that really stands out. I'm sorry.
Any questions on the specific items? Please do bring them up. If not, are we ready to entertain a motion at this time?
So a question on the Meldon Hunt invoice here. Okay, we explained that, Ms. Bess?
Yes, sir.
That's 27,000 for, what is it, the WWTP project?
This is for the wastewater treatment plant, the
Okay.
expansion of the sewer plant. Melder Hunt got the contract. They have been working on the feasibility study for both the sewer plant and for the collection system all the way to Alvarez Street. This feasibility also includes an environmental. They will be submitting the feasibility and environmental for the plant prior to the collection system to Alvarez. We had Mr. Carlos Acevedo from NatBank visit us last month. Every month we have a progress meeting, or he will come down and see how we're going. This feasibility is due by the end of this month, so by that time we will know how much can the plant be expanded and what energy saving costs will be associated with the new plant. I know that we shared a preliminary of what it was going to look like. I think it's in the poster outside. We had originally thought that this plant was going to be double the capacity from 1.5 to another 1.5 to 3. But based on our census numbers, based on growth patterns for the next 20 years, it appears that it will only go up 500,000 gallons more, which was about every 100,000 serves about 400 homes. So that's the next presentation that will be coming before the council, so y'all can approve it. It'll go before Texas Water and Board. It'll go before NatBank. Once it's approved, then the design starts, so we can eventually start building the new plant.
Thank you.
Entertain a motion at this time.
I so move, Mayor.
Okay,
I'll second it.
have a motion to approve item 5A by Commissioner Escobedo, second by Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Next item is 5B, discussion and possible action authorizing RGC-EDC's approval of the final amended special warranty deed, extending RGC GISD's requirement to build a special event center from 12 months to 30 months. And this item was discussed earlier in EDC.
And approved, Mayor, as you mentioned, the approval was made by the EDC earlier, and it just gives the district more time for construction. Therefore, it extends the requirement to build the special event center from 12 months to 30 months.
Yeah.
And just since we already have you here, Ms. Guillen, can you just let the public know about the highlights of the EDC meeting earlier today?
Which part?
There's so many highlights, so summarize it as best as you can, all the great highlights.
All the business is coming in.
Sure. So we did have discussion on all of the construction that is taking place and construction that is coming. It's still going through the planning process, but we're excited to see the investment in our community, the jobs that it's creating. As I've said before, we are at really good momentum in our city. There's a lot of momentum to build and to expand here, and so we try our best as an EDC to make sure that these projects are supported, and this EDC has done a wonderful job of making sure that we are getting ahead in recruitment and allowing these businesses a really nice place to call home. So, we've approved various measures. We've talked about the highlights of sales taxes and job creation. Our unemployment continues to decline. We're in a really good position. And so as the months roll forward and our new fiscal year begins, we will have more projects to highlight and to bring forward to you, but that's in due time for public notice.
Thank you, Ms. Guillen. This time, do we entertain a motion?
I so move, Mayor, item 5B.
A motion to approve item 5B by Commissioner Escobedo,
Also a motion.
second by Commissioner, which one was faster?
De Leon is fine.
Was it Ramirez?
I heard Sorry.
All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Next item is 6A, discussion and possible action to designate Laura Garcia, tax assessor collector, to calculate the effective tax rate and rollback tax rate for tax year 2022.
Yes, Mayor, there are several steps that the city must follow in order to comply with the property tax code, the Texas Constitution with regards to being a taxing entity. One of these steps is to designate a person who will calculate the effective tax rate for the rollback rate. Ms. Laura Garcia has been who serves with the rgc-tv tax assessor, has also served as the city's tax assessor since 2007, and she's done a great job for the city. Staff recommends that the designation of Ms. Garcia as the city tax assessor and collector for the 2022 tax year.
She wasn't able to be here today. She had another meeting that she had to go to, so.
So we have a motion.
So moved.
Okay, have a motion to approve item 6A by Commissioner Olivares,
A second.
second by Commissioner De Leon. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Next item is 7, contracts and agreements. Discussion and possible action to approve the lease agreement with Valley Metro for rental premises at 408 East Main Street.
Yes. Okay, we bring back Valley Metro again. We went ahead, they did another contract, Victor worked on another contract, revising it a little bit. She came back with another, little proposal. She wanted to see if we could go ahead and pay for cable, pay for Wi-Fi, but I recommend that we do not pay for those services. We do pay for the light, because EDC usually will cover the first year, but for some reason they just keep on paying it and the renters never end up paying the light, so EDC usually takes care of the light. So, but I do recommend for them to pay for their own cable, for their own internet as well. I wouldn't recommend for them to tap onto our internet services or Wi-Fi, since we're the city entity, and I wouldn't want them to use ours.
Did y'all take a look? Okay, so
Are they still in the same location? No,
it's-
They're moving now to 408 Girasoles, which is
smaller location.
inside the Tijerina building.
Okay.
It's a smaller,
It's
for
the-
340.
Yes, it's the office that you were looking into, Mayor, the one downstairs. So they're gonna go ahead and take that location there. It's a good size for them, and as a matter of fact, they're already eager to move into that location. They just wanted to make sure.
Okay, so any other tenants, what do we do for other tenants and keep it the same? I guess that would be my suggestion, is keep it the same with other tenants.
Except the
Do we
light.
pay for any?
Yeah, no, we don't
pay for any
only
other
the
services
electricity.
besides electricity, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now this lease agreement here, that's something that they
already looked into it, they're okay with it, they just wanted to see if we could go ahead and give them a little bit more, which is cable and stuff, but I
Okay.
told her I would bring it up to you all, but I recommend
Commission?
just to leave it as is.
Commission, what do y'all think?
For the sake of consistency, I think we need to, do what we do for everybody.
For other businesses or to help, yeah, just
If
the light
anything
bill.
would be to remove item 5 from this, Mr. Rivera, on the, or not necessarily remove it, but just
On the lease?
keep it consistent on the lease, because we already took are we taking care of, as far as we're looking at the lease, it's same as what it's been there before, except now it's 340 because it's a smaller
Right.
square footage, right? Okay.
But I think you're recommending that we keep it the way we prepared
Keep
it.
keep it the way you prepared it.
Correct. Or
Which is
paying the light.
as is, the way they usually, they pay everything else, we only take care of electricity.
Correct. And that's the way we prepared it.
Okay, so the motion would have to be what, just to be
Just
clear?
motion to approve.
I know item 5 of this contract states that the landlords pay utilities, including electricity, water.
That's the one that
sanitation.
she sent back.
Right, so
But
we're
in
not
the
doing that
back, as you see, in back of that one is ours.
Okay, so.
So I guess the motion would be for them to keep,
Original contract.
to keep the lease agreement
The
as we
original lease
prepared.
agreement.
Correct.
It would be motion to keep lease agreement
As
as.
prepared by the
As
city.
prepared by the city.
And recommended by staff.
I move that we accept the lease agreement as prepared by the city. Would that be
That's in the
correct?
motion.
Yes.
And Again, just as far as the city, does not include the cable, correct?
No,
And where's the city's lease agreement? Is it,
it's in back of
It's the
the one
second,
that
the second
she,
lease, Mayor.
page 77. It starts on page 77.
which one is it?
Page 77 of 102.
See, but that one also has cable.
No.
Well, it's on there.
It's in the electricity, water.
77 has cable on there.
Should only have the electricity.
Yeah, it should only have the electricity.
And you can just, on the motion, just say only to approve with the electricity and that's it. And we'll correct it.
I'll amend the motion to include only the electricity be provided by the city.
So electricity and the water.
And the water.
But not the cable,
not the
okay,
cable,
just to make
yes.
sure. To make sure we
Not
correct
the-
this.
And not the internet, remember?
Yes.
Right, make sure it's corrected on there and be
Yeah.
reviewed by legal. All right, so we have a motion, by Commissioner Olivares, it was second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is 7B, discussion and possible action to approve the interlocal cooperation agreement for tax assessment and collection with the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District.
Yes, Mayor, this is, goes hand in hand with the tax collector, which is Ms. Laura. And staff is also recommending that this agreement be approved with
Yes,
the,
it's already that time where we have to start, well, Ms. Garcia is the one that starts already with the preparation of the tax assessments.
Okay. Make a motion at this
I
time.
so move, Mayor, item 7B.
Have a motion to approve item 7B by Commissioner Escobedo,
I'll second the motion.
second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Next item is 8, planning. Letter A, discussion and possible action on request for final approval of the Falcon Trail at 755 subdivision.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. This subdivision is on 755 area, is within our 5-mile ETJ on the high school area. It's about 1 acre tracts, 18 lots, and it's been approved by Planning and Zoning Commission. It's ready for final approval.
On those, Mr. Milan, just out of curiosity, does the developer want any type of voluntary annexation for those? And is that something we would even consider?
Yes, unfortunately, our city boundaries are still not at that height. That's why they would have to be like in the country states would be closer, or maybe through embassy by the Alto Vista area. It would have to be more annexation closer to the property, like a road.
Okay, so to be clear, even if the developer wants voluntary annexation, we wouldn't be able to do it?
That's correct. We would have to, 755 or embassy would have to be annexed fully, and then the property adjacent to it.
You could do a development, if we develop
Annexation?
then we would just go with the highway.
And the reason I'm asking is, let's say the school wants us to annex the high school there. Not to say that they are, but if they wanted to, I mean, is that something?
It is possible.
As the city continues to grow, I mean, we're gonna grow in that direction, so.
Correct.
Do we already start making plans now for that, or do we, especially since they haven't developed anything yet, any houses?
Right. But it is possible, like the mayor said, it's a plan to annex area, the road, like embassy. I think that would be the best example. 755, you had to check with the TechStat also.
Previously, the law would allow us, it would have to go through the state commission in Austin for a state highway, but that was the one change that our approved with this new legislature. So we just have to petition the state, and then that will create the connectivity adjacent to that property.
Okay.
All right, do we entertain the motion at this time?
I so move, Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 8A by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Olivares. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Next item is 8B, discussion and possible action on request for preliminary approval of the Villa Nueva subdivision.
Mayor, this is the proposed medical plaza on FM 3167, just north of the new Lone Star National Bank. It is going to be serviced by both water and sewer by the city, and it's for preliminary approval. It's been recommended by planning and zoning. Infrastructure is there on location. It needs to be extended throughout the property.
And that's the medical development.
Yes, sir.
That we've been anxiously anticipating.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Commissioner,
Commissioner,
we approve item 8B.
we have a motion to approve item 8B by Commissioner Olivares.
I second.
Second by Commissioner De Leon. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Next item is 9, executive session, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, Section 551.071, consultation with attorney, and Section 551.074, personnel matters. It is 6:55 p.m. Executive session, it is 8:18 p.m. Reconvene item 10. And there's no action on item 10A. There's no action on item 10B. And at this time, we're considering item 10C. Entertain a motion at this
I
time.
move that we retain the services of Calixto Villarreal as discussed in executive session.
That's the motion.
We have a motion to approve item 10C by Commissioner Olivares, second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you. No, thank you.
This time, any other announcements before we conclude for the day? Anything else? I know we have Freedom Fest coming up. And that will be before our next meeting, so July 2nd. Anything else you would like to add to that, Ms. Hernandez?
We have quite a bit of activities for our Freedom Fest event, including a barbecue cook-off, so we may need some judges. If y'all are interested, let me know. We have a car show, so if anybody has any classic cars that they want to enter into our car show, it's $20. We have our live music, and free kiddie rides. We rented some rides that'll be free. We have the T-ball tournament and a co-ed tournament that'll happen on Friday. So it's getting a little bit packed that weekend, but we're excited. I know the other cities are joining us in the weekend and having their 4th of July festivities too, but no one is having it on a Saturday, so that's great. It worked out, so we look forward to that event. I hope all of y'all can join us, and we'll make it great. We have the fireworks and everything.
Music is Grupo Signo, of course our own Grupo Sólido.
We have Grupo Sólido, which they sponsor the event with us, have been doing it already for a few years. So they play for us at no cost. They co-host the event with us. And then Signo will be there with Chris Perez, and I know they do some songs together, some Selena songs, so there'll be some performances there. We have Latin Vibe, which is a variety band, and they play that group that you had mentioned, Commissioner Esco. They play some of their songs, so that was Angeles Azules. So we already let them know to play some of those songs for you.
Awesome.
And we also got a local band, Grupo Inevitable, that will be playing at no charge for us as well. So we have a really nice stage, really big equipment, similar to the one from last year. So it'll be a nice event for the whole family.
Very good, thank you.
Looking forward to that. All right, do we entertain a motion at this time? I have a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Meeting is adjourned. It is 8:21 p.m.